Right. So, who gives a shit about anything else that happened this week? Because the biggest thing that we've all been dealing with is the fallout from the more fallout from the Activision Blizzard harassment bullshit. So, I want to say Tuesday, a giant piece of investigative journalism by the Washington. I wouldn't say the Washington Post, but I think it was the Washington Journal came out.
It's Wall Street Journal.
Yeah,
Washington Post does also have another article.
So the Wall Street Journal by Kirsten Grine, Ben Fritz, and Sarah E. Needleman, who they came out and pretty much revealed that when all of this stuff was going on with Activision, Bobby Kotick knew every individual detail and just said nothing.
Mm-hmm. He's probably getting aroused by him. He did what?
Oh no.
Alleged.
So when this broke, everything was like mostly my Twitter is video game people talking about fucking video game things. So that was all anyone was talking about at that time. And then Jason Schreier, being Jason Schreier, had his fucking ears to the fucking ground, fucking reading the streets. The streets were talking. He was just hearing shit. So first off, apparently Bobby Kotick was doubling down on everything he had said up to that point. Like I'm trying to make the most inclusive and most welcoming organization for video game professionals to work in. Yada 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 yada. They also revealed at the same time, and another journalist, specifically from the article itself. Remember that Fran Townsend email that high profile Activision executive wrote that really tone deaf email, and it was just one of those weird things where everyone was just roasting her in the streets. Turns out Bobby Kotick wrote that and then made her post it.
This man is the quintessential villain, capital V villain. Oh my god!
This is how corporations work. Remember, his board of directors, who is supposed to supervise him, put out a statement that says that in turn they believe in him. That means a lengthy but thing that says the board remains confident that Bobby Kotick appropriately addressed workplace issues brought to his attention.
Okay, and now we got so that is them acknowledging and unacknowledging the fact that we all know that he knew and didn't know, and then they also, in a lot of the investigative journalism that went off, it was like they also revealed that he threatened his I think his secretary at the time in a voicemail saying, "I'm going to kill you.
You could die for less, homie."
Like, let's put it out there. We've all said hyperbolic bullshit, like talking to people we know, like I'm gonna fucking kill you. Yeah. But I've never heard from my boss, the guy who like essentially owns my life. I'm going to fucking kill you.
Remember, you don't have a union, so you could be fired for any reason or no reason at all. And now the guy who's responsible for your financial livelihood can say, "Yeah, I can kill," and he fired you. For most Americans who living technically paycheck to paycheck, that could be financial death.
It's like the rabbit hole of Bobby Kotick and his shit it keeps going deeper. I want everyone who's listening to this to read the initial Wall Street Journal article and give those reporters like the fucking accolades they deserve for like pretty much blowing the doors off of a story that's been brewing for a long period of time. Like I've always been hesitant on like journalism in games because a lot of it's not really journalism so much as it is just
a lot of blog shit.
Like opinion.
This is the Wall Street Journal. They have editorial standards.
Yeah. Like opinion-based editorial and people bringing the personal shit into this. This is like straight up investigative journalism, like fucking spotlight bullshit. Like we need to get down to the corruption in the Catholic Church, but with Bobby Kotick.
I just wonder how long. How long do you guys think he'll be there through the end of the year?
Well, that's the interesting thing because there are two more addendums to this. There is the idea that after all this information came out, the board, which people point out, is made up of a rich boys club of his friends and people who he's made money for. But said, Bobby, fine. We're not gonna. We stand by him completely. We stand by him completely.
Other people can make you money, man.
Meanwhile,
if the board is going to say that the leader is bad, it also in turn means that they lack their own supervision.
From what I've learned, there's only two ways that Bobby can get removed. Either he steps down, which based on how he's reacting, he's not, or two, the board removes him. And the board isn't like it's going to do that anytime soon. However, 2 new wrinkles happened. I want to say the next day, the Wednesday after this broke on a Tuesday, Jim Ryan came out and said, and then like sent an email to all the staff like, yo, everything that's going on with Activision Blizzard is fucked up. I'm getting in touch with them to figure out what's going on here. And then the next day, because Phil at that point was busy with other Xbox stuff at the time, Phil Spencer came out the next day as well and said, I'm appalled by this, and we as Xbox are reevaluating our relationship. So now,
do you think that's more for the public to feel good, or is it really about them saying, hey, I see him about to go down in tubes. Let me improve my.
He ain't about to bring down my company with this bullshit.
Correct. That's what I think. This could be a. We don't want this to be a contagion.
It's an interesting argument because, like, you can take the cynical thing and like this is all PR stuff to make them all seem better.
Yes.
Or you can take the, or you can take the human argument of like, because like Jim Ryan jumped on this immediately.
Yeah.
Like in a corporate world, you would have sat down and read all the tea leaves, especially if this information is coming out before you said anything. Jim jumped on it immediately. Phil came out.
You think Jim didn't know either? Like I said, this is an exclusive club. His conduct is quite public.
I don't think so because Activision Blizzard is an American company, and Jim Ryan is from the European version of PlayStation. So I don't think they would have much crossover in terms of like.
You don't think people talk among themselves? I mean, that's
people 100%.
Like with some of the other allegations with her, other people were like wines, like people knew about people. It just wasn't in the front page of the Wall Street Journal, but people talked about. People knew, but they knew like, yeah, you don't want to work for him because he's gonna grab your ass. Don't go there. People talk. People have a reputation.
When you're in different levels of the company too, some shit just don't reach your ears unless you got an inside, whatever. Some people just don't talk like that around you.
I'm not. But the people, the CEOs, these like your Jim Ryan, these people who oftentimes a lot of these executives circulate around. They talk. Like I know, even in my field, there's certain things that if you're in that field, you understand the different players and know, okay, that's a cool place to go to. Oh, don't go there because this person will make your life miserable.
Or it could be like some Weinstein shit where all the other directors and producers knew, but it's like, hey, none of that shit better be happening to my house. That's if y'all want to do that shit over there, cool, but don't bring that to my doorstep.
I would say that there's two possibilities that this could go in terms of like whether or not the Phil or Jim knew about it. It could be a thing where Activision was like, hey, we have a client call. We will keep this shit under wraps. The client call is a client call. We're not fucking up my money, and that's how it's going to be. And then the other way is like, some of that stuff kind of slips. And, of course, this is definitely not saying any of this actually happened, but like it could be where it's like Jim or Ryan's just like, that's kind of strange. Whatever. Back to money.
I think, but also to the money, I think that one of the things we've also seen is that there's a lot bit more collective action among the employees. So recently they had a walkout, they had a petition. They're grouping together because they have it's easy to bring people together when you have a common enemy. And I think the one thing that a lot of these executives fear is employees working together because they are protesting like a union, they're doing walkouts like a union, they're making demands like a union. Holy crap, if they put together a ballot and check the boxes all over the NLRB, National Labor Relations Board, they may actually form a union. And I think they're so scared of these people coming together. And I think that's another, call me cynical, I admit I am. I think a lot of them like, look, we need to make sure our employees feel happy here so that they don't need to be unionized. We take care of you. Why do you need a union for? You're great. Don't that I'm not like him. He crazy. Right. You're good here. And that's why I forget, was it Ubisoft that gave out bonuses to people?
Well, that's something I want to talk about because the Activision, here's the thing, Activision Blizzard knew this about this article coming out because days before this came out, they started making moves to make their employees happier. Like, hey, this week we're giving you all off. We're doing all this stuff to make everyone feel good here. So when this article comes out, you think about it. Like they've been having repeated all hands on meetings and all hands messages of Bobby Kotick and his underlings pretty much telling them how everything's fine. Don't worry about it. I want to add some more information to this. So the female lead of Blizzard who left, I forget, Jen O'Neill. The reason she left is that she got the job and quickly knows that nothing was going to change, and she was clearly given the job as a bid of tokenism, because we also learned in this she was being paid far less than her male
Mike Ybarra,
her male fucking
their counterpart,
her male counterpart. They had the exact same job, and she's being paid less, so she dipped. And then the one other thing I want to bring bring it all back to the Jim Ryan and Phil Spencer. When Jim Ryan came out and said something about wanted to figure out about anything was going to happen, I knew nothing was going to happen unless other people moved. Xbox coming in and then saying in more uncertain terms, we're reevaluating our relationship, is the first dagger in the nail of getting Bobby Kotick removed. Because guess what? If you lose both Microsoft and PlayStation, you lose a giant chunk of revenue. And especially when you're a one-game fucking business that is Call of Duty, and you can't get those games out on like the biggest platforms, suddenly the board has to recognize Bobby being here is going to lose us money.
Do you really think Sony and Xbox will actually risk not taking the money that Call of Duty brings them to make us think?
I think so.
Now, if Xbox didn't say anything, I don't think Sony would have done shit. But Xbox saying something, Sony can now 100% feel safe doing it. And two, Vanguard is already out. It's probably already made the majority of its sales.
Yeah.
They can freely just be like, I bet we're not going to touch. We're going to here's the thing. This is also Sony that delisted Cyberpunk. They will 100% pull that fucking trigger, get that game off their platforms, and let it stew. And they have about a year until another Call of Duty comes out. And like, there's nothing. They'll lose profit from the passive income of Warzone and Call of Duty, but for the most part, there's not much to lose for either. I think.
They probably pull it like after Christmas, after most of the sales are done.
Like, there's nothing much.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, there's not much to lose. There's not much to lose, and it's just Activision being like, "Oh, we can't sell our game anymore."
Yeah, I think you would have to convince the board the likelihood of we will both work together. Like everybody loves a common enemy, right? So if you isolate them to say, look, find another person to lead this company, or else we will pull that trigger. I think then I guess you hit them with the pocketbook.
Yeah.
But
and that's
interesting.
And then it gets back to my early parts with Activision is that they don't have a diverse portfolio. Like Blizzard does, but Activision proper really doesn't. In that, what games do they release?
But you can't split one without the other. They're still one company.
Yeah, but the other Blizzard's not releasing anything anytime soon either.
Yeah,
so
what? I keep hearing all the news about Overwatch 2. It's going to come out eventually, right?
Blizzard's not releasing anything either. And let's be fair, Blizzard is a more PC-oriented company. It has console sales now thanks to Overwatch. But like, if you talk to anyone, World of Warcraft built that company, and so they'll be fine if they can't sell shit on the PlayStation. But Activision, the Activision side of that coin is Call of Duty is all they make. So like,
but I think I don't. If Sony and Xbox are going to delist, I think they delist all their properties.
Oh,
if you want to hurt them, hurt them.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
You know,
100%.
That's why I don't like this division between Blizzard. No, he's the CEO of all of them. That's why
No, what I mean to say is that is delisting all Blizzard products from the PlayStation and Xbox ecosystems won't hurt Blizzard, but it will hurt the Activision side of that coin.
Oh yeah, right. Because that's where the money's going, essentially.
They need to sell off Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, and Tony Hawk.
Doug, you're saying something?
no. I just think I think you make a good point. As Sean's actually, I guess, said it, that like I wonder. My initial question is, how long will it take for the board to act if they were ever going to act? And I guess you're right. If you look at if they don't change between now and Christmas, then I can see how I'd be surprised to see Sony and Xbox take such a stand like that. Cause that'd be a very public precedent. Frankly,
really
responsibility.
I'd probably give them to the end of about like March or so to change. Only because I feel like they could easily push this off. Like, well, it's December. We have holiday break, so we don't want to make such a big decision. With such a limited amount of time. So we'll make a decision by the end of March because that should give us enough time to.
I don't think it's gonna get there. I think we have the deadline before any of this shit pops off is by the end of the year. Like
sure. I totally agree that this should happen like now and not later. But I'm just saying that I could see them like pushing it off.
I think Microsoft and Sony will take action by the end of the year if nothing happens. Especially with how loud this is, and financially, I think financially how everything's going to work for them, they will probably make this by the end of the year. And if Sony was more in we need to talk with Activision Blizzard to see what's going on. Xbox was very much we're reevaluating our relationship, and in all the goodwill that Phil Spencer has built off of being a straight shooter, if he's not to his word about reevaluating what our relationship is with them going forward,
that's also so broad.
It is.
That is so. I mean,
But here's the thing: no one who's drinking the Xbox Kool-Aid is reading that as broad. They're reading that as Phil Spencer saying, "This is me as a suit making a threat."
But here's the thing, though. I'm not sure if you guys. I'm looking at the tea leaves and I see the wind blow the leaves and it makes like a perfect chess piece, and I'm just like, wait a minute. Now, say Phil Spencer's like, okay, you know what? We're not doing this anymore. We are going to pause our relationship with Activision until they decide to until they decide to like fix themselves. And then in a few weeks, what drops? Halo. Hey guys, come play this first-person shooter game instead of playing Call of Duty because Call of Duty is run by a bunch of like terrible people.
I think that one thing I also interesting note. I think that is a Machiavellian move. In
an era where Phil Spencer says a lot of things and doesn't really give a shit about things, like you don't put Battlefield on like your big stage and promote it as like an Xbox focused product, and then drop your free to play Halo multiplayer days after that and expect nothing to fucking be like nothing to get no feathers to get ruffled in that argument. I can 100% see what DJ's talking about happen.
I also do.
I mean, shit. If anything, this is Halo and Battlefield's time to shine.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
But then I do wonder about the precedent. Like, is this something that do they want to start delisting games based upon the conduct of one individual or a company? Games are the livelihood and product of thousands of people.
That's a good point.
It's not the conduct of one person though, because Bobby Kotick wasn't sexually harassing people. He's a shitty person, but this is a company-wide thing.
That's true too. Yeah.
Well, another piece of the news here is this is something in regards to that sexual harassment. I believe one of the COD studios, I want to say with Sledgehammer, one of the higher ups, I think creative directors, was guilty of sexual harassment. Mm-hmm. And Bobby Kotick, and like when everyone was when HR was recommending,
wasn't he of rape, right?
Yeah.
Was it that or different? Okay.
I think it was something serious. When HR was like, we need to fire this guy, Bobby Kotick said, we're not firing him. And he actively stopped any dismissal of this guy. And the guy only left the company after the rape allegations became a actual news story that he couldn't avoid. But in the Activision ecosystem, Bobby was protecting him.
Yeah. Lord. All right. And the last little bit thing here is that Girls Who Code also end their relationship with Activision Blizzard, which more power to them, which they should. Yeah, so of course we're going to be following this and we'll be updating you all with the information. Hopefully this gets resolved in a positive way and the good people who work at Activision are still able to continue you know, their livelihood.
I feel bad for everyone who worked on Vanguard.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like
for sure.
you put your heart into making this Call of Duty game, whether regardless of the actual quality of the game, you put your heart into working on this game, and around its release, everything blows up around your company.
Yeah. Like, boy. Yeah. And it's one of those things where, unlike Cyberpunk, that the game itself was the problem. Like in this case, like Vanguard didn't necessarily do anything wrong. It's just a game that got caught in its parents' drama, essentially. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
Okay. We'll see.
Yeah. As I said off chat, incoming Call of Duty LLC, they're gonna spin this shit off.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. It'd be kind of difficult to do, but you know.
Yeah, it would be incredibly difficult to do. There's no way anyone would say, "Oh, this Call of Duty company is now just making Call of Duty." It's not. That's not going to happen. It's a great joke. It's not going to happen.
All right. Well, that has been our cast. We hope you enjoyed this episode as much as we enjoy making it. Don't forget to rate and review on your favorite podcasting app. Also, like, subscribe, hit the notification button on your favorite YouTube channel. That's our channel. In case you miss any of this, any of these details, any information at all, you can find all that stuff and more on our website, pressxtostarttv.com. With that being said, you take care and have a good day/night/evening, whenever you're listening to this.
Have a good holiday.
Oh yeah, that too. Enjoy. Eat many turkeys for us.
They're a failure. They're a failure bird.
Hey, you leave them all alone. They deserve their love and attention in our stomachs.
All right, y'all take care.
Peace.